Hey guys, it's Raven. I just wanted to come on here and share with you all some supplies that I've purchased over the last couple of months. I've made some art sales and I have been so excited to have the extra money to treat myself to some amazing, beautiful supplies. I have swatched a lot of these already, and I will be sharing what supplies I've used in the swatches and just give you guys a little rundown of how much things cost, and just give you some ideas, especially if you work with mixed media. I've been purchasing these supplies to hopefully get started with some mixed media projects, and I have not yet layered the papers and the embellishments and all of those yummy things. But I will be doing that very soon, and I'm really excited to have so many options to work with. So let's get started, and I'll show you guys what I bought and where you can buy it. Okay guys, so the first order of supplies that I'd like to share with you all is an order that I made from Shein, and they have some really fun embellishments and trims. This one I really love. If you can see that, it's got the pearls, and I think I purchased 2 of this one. Looks like I purchased 3 to make sure that I have enough to go around the edge of a canvas. And then I love this one. This is my favorite, and I'm definitely going to be ordering more of this. It's very sticky, which I did not expect, which is actually a good thing. So you won't have to use like so much Gorilla Glue or anything to get it down. But isn't that just gorgeous? So I love that. And then I got some rhinestones. I have a lot of rhinestones already, but I don't have quite as many to make me comfortable to finish a project. I want to make sure I have enough to get me through to the end. So I ordered some new pink, some new blue, or is that teal? Turquoise, and some white. And I love the kind of rainbow that this white has. I hope you can see that if I'm in the camera. And I purchased these for a mermaid project that I may do in the future. So let me show you guys what these look like out of the bag, because they are so gorgeous. They're like blue, they have a little bit of pink or like a mauve color. Some of them are like an amber color. They're so pretty. And I like that they're various sizes, because you know, like no stone is the same size as others, you know. And then I have these papers. I was not very satisfied with the papers, but they will do. You will notice with a lot of these supplies, I have a mix of pastel colors and a mix of neons. I do like working with both. But yeah, these papers I was not expecting to be transparent and very like clingy kind of material, which I don't know how they would layer up with having like a scrapbook paper underneath. Let's just see here. And see, you can't really see what's under it. I don't really know what they're for. If you have any idea, let me know, because I do not know what they could be used for. But a lot of the papers I did like, you know, the ones that are more like scrapbook paper. So yeah, I got that set of pink. I did like these. I thought these were pretty cool. And some more papers. So that's the pink set. And this is the blue set. Which, same deal. A lot of them are transparent, which I'm not sure how I would use them. I really do like that print though. And then this is like your regular scrapbook paper type paper, and I do love those. And this one's cool. I purchased these so that I could use these as stencils, because I've seen people do that with these. I got a set of leaves and roses, and then I got a set of hearts in some different shapes. And I won't go through all these, but I'll just show you what one of them looks like. So yeah, I wanted to use these as stencils. I'm not quite sure they're thick enough though, but I could definitely use them in other projects. And I'm not sure if they would be strong enough to paint. That would be really cool if you could. But yeah, I thought they'd be cute to use in like cards and things like that. Not that I ever make cards, but I could. One day. You never know. But yeah, I got all of this stuff that I just showed. I got all of it at Shein, on the Shein app. And it was about $18, which I have to say, these trims themselves would have been much more than $18. And I got the rhinestones, and I got the papers, and these beautiful pebble things. So, I mean, it was such a deal. And then, of course, this blingy trim would have been, gosh, so expensive on Etsy. So, I'm really happy with Shein. I will be going back and ordering some more of that diamond trim. So next up on supplies that I want to share is liquid pearls. In each set of these that I've gotten off of Amazon, they've come in a set of 6. I've got the neons and I've got the pastel colors. So this is the neons. You got your orange, your green, your blue, and this is beautiful magenta. I love this neon red. And this, of course, is my absolute favorite color. But I will say that the pastel tone that I have, and I'm going to show you here in a second when I show you the swatches, I love the more pastel color. This is lemon chiffon, and it's a perfect name for that. It is so gorgeous. And then this is the other colors of the pastel shades. That's a beautiful color. Ballerina. Sage. I love sage. That's one of my favorite colors. And that's a beautiful color too. So this is the swatch of the liquid pearls. As you can tell, the top row is your neons. And the bottom row is your pastel colors. And they're just so gorgeous. I've seen a lot of people use these for mandala paintings, which I do create. But the only thing that I have used these for so far is abstract paintings that I've done on little pieces of mixed media paper that I have framed. And a couple of those have sold, and I was so happy about that. But yeah, and they're just so gorgeous. You get a set of 6 for about $22 on Amazon. So look those up. Like I said, they are liquid pearls. And they are 3-dimensional paints. They are made by Ranger. And I love the tip. It's like a very precise tip that it comes out of. And it's just so pretty. Now, I will say that when you first use these, for like the first 3 or 4 dots that you make, it will have like a gel in it. They will be a little glossy. So you want to squeeze out any of the first layer in this bottle just to kind of get rid of that glaze. I guess they put that in there so that it doesn't dry out. And there's really no way, I mean, you can shake them, but they're very thick and I don't think they're going to really mix well. The next supply that I wanted to share with you guys is these distress spritz. I went to Michael's and I was looking for something that I could buy that was 30% off regular price. And of course, you never really find a Tim Holtz brand on sale. Not that I know of anyway. But these are so beautiful. You want to shake them up good. And they're, oh gosh, they're just gorgeous. Can you see it? This one is just my favorite. It's called Picked Raspberry. This one is Fired Brick. And then you have Saltwater Taffy. And what they do is kind of like, what would you call it? Like spritz, or kind of like, I had the word for it earlier, but I can't quite remember what word I thought of. But here you have the raspberry color, which is my absolute favorite. Speckled, that's the word I was thinking of. It's very speckled. And then this one here is the Saltwater Taffy. And then this is the Fire Brick. And I believe I got all 3 of these, maybe for maybe $10 to $12. I can't remember the exact price of them. But while I was at Michael's looking at those, I also found these. And these are gorgeous. These are just absolutely gorgeous. And the funny thing is, I found these at, like I said, Michael's. Which I love Michael's, don't get me wrong. Oh, look at that. I love Michael's, but when I left Michael's, I went to Hobby Lobby, and Hobby Lobby had this exact same rhinestone set, $2 cheaper. So it was originally at Michael's, it was like $6.99, I think, and at Hobby Lobby they were $4.99. So yeah, that was a little disappointing, but you live and you learn. Also at Hobby Lobby, well, the only thing I really did buy at Hobby Lobby was this paper pack, which I love. I think it is so gorgeous, and I will show you my favorite. I'll show you my favorite here in a second. But I love this paper. These flowers are just gorgeous. I love the silver that's in it. Oh gosh, they're just so pretty. Where's my favorite? Must be back here. Yes. Look at the birds. That is just so lovely. So yeah, I got those. So from Blick Art Materials, I got these metallic paints with the satin finish. They are so pretty. These are the 3 colors that I got. And those are the ones that are swatched on the bottom of this paper that I showed you with the pearls. And I just love how iridescent they are. They're so pretty. Now, of course, you'd probably have to do 2 or 3 coats to really have an opaque coverage, but they are gorgeous. Okay, so then I also wanted to share this that I got off of Amazon. Now, I have not used this yet, but I've heard really good things about it. It's the Dorn's Wax, or Dorland's Wax Medium. And what you do with this is you put it on maybe your journal pages in your journal, and it stops the pages from sticking together. And then, of course, the worst nightmare in the world is peeling those pages apart. It will ruin your artwork. So this, having a layer of this down in between your pages will really help. Of course, you only need a thin layer, but it prevents anything from sticking to each other. So I have not tried that, but that is something that I was recommended and thought I would share with you guys. So then I also purchased this set of pencils. These are Blackwing pencils. I've heard a lot about these. They are graphite pencils, and I've been using like a lead pencil, and that lead would constantly break, and it was driving me insane. So I wanted to get a good set of pencils, and like I said, these are popular. It comes with 12 pencils. I think it was $25, and then the pencil sharpener was also $25. And from what I hear, these are strong pencils. They withstand pressure like no other, I believe. So I'm excited to try those. I have not tried those yet, but I will. Okay. Now this is what I'm really excited to share. I placed an order on Etsy for some papers for mixed media. This is the original artwork on paper that I'll share. Now I have a jelly print which makes these types of prints, and I tried using it. I've had the jelly print for probably 10 years or so, and I went through layering and put in on the jelly, which is kind of like a thick layer of Jello, if you could imagine. And what happens is when you layer and let things dry, you place the paper down and you peel it off, and it's supposed to peel off all those layers onto the paper. But what happened was, I've had it for so long, and you're supposed to prep your jelly with baby oil, and I did not have that. So I decided to buy papers that already had the prints on them. And this seller from Etsy is, I'm not even going to say it, I'm just going to show it up to the camera right here. Ingredients for art.etsy.com. Now, like I said, she's got some papers that are printed and some that are painted on. And these are the prints of the painted on papers that the artist, Betty Hendrick, yeah, she's the artist. And just look at how beautiful these are. Now, I did order 3 sets. You'll see the different color variations where you can tell that it's a set. The entire order with shipping was about $28. But like I was talking to somebody else, you order one of those big paper packs of like scrapbook papers, like this, I mean, this is like a smaller one, but you've seen the real big ones that are like maybe $20. So I love these papers and I don't regret buying them at all. I'm actually thrilled with how beautiful they are. But I'm going to go through and show you guys just how beautiful they are. I'm excited to use them in the backgrounds of any projects that I paint. All right, now we're coming up on the second order. And each order, I believe, was $7.50, maybe? Something like that. One was like $11.99, I believe. That was the original papers. But yeah, there's some pages that you can buy on Etsy where you can print them off. You have their permission to print off their designs and use them in your artwork. But I would rather have somebody else print them out for me because it's just a hassle going to the library and paying 35 cents per page. And you have permission to use these in your artwork. So that's already done. I don't have to buy the designs on Etsy. So then I will show you guys the original painted papers. And these just feel very lightweight, very glossy, very beautiful. You can feel the texture on them to know that they are original. And the colors are so vibrant. I mean, they're just gorgeous. I'm guessing she uses inks in these. I don't have any inks, but I have so many other supplies that I think that I could make some really cool jelly prints when I get the baby oil. But yeah, I just wanted to see how these looked in person and use them. And oh, I'm just so happy. These are just so gorgeous. Look at the texture in this one. Oh, and it just feels so cool. Isn't that pretty? I think the way that this technique, you get this technique to work is you put down like wet paint and then you put over top of it cling wrap and press down and let like the folds and the wrinkles kind of adhere to the paint. And then once it dries, you peel it up and it kind of has that frosted kind of icy look, which I do love. And this is my absolute favorite painted paper here. It's so pretty. So yeah, that's what I have today to share. I hope you guys like these supplies, and I hope that it will give you some ideas on things that you can use in your mixed media projects. Check out this seller on Etsy for these papers or any other similar paper. She's got a bunch of different paper packs, and they are all just stunning. But yeah, Amazon, Shein, Blick, Michaels, Hobby Lobby, they never disappoint. Well, I will say Michaels kind of disappointed me with that $2 more on them rhinestones, but it's all good. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.